Hello everyone, welcome back to the fifth session of chapter 1 number system. Today's topic is operations on real numbers. And I've already discussed that set of real numbers is a collection of all rationals and irrationals. Whenever we have a real number can either be a rational number or an irrational number. So now when we are talking about operations means we are talking about the basic arithmetic operations, your addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Before starting, I really want to give you a note. The addition, subtraction or multiplication, and the last one is your division operation. When we are talking about these four operations, the addition, subtraction, multiplication or division of a rational and an irrational number. So means I have considered one rational number and the another one is an irrational number. After performing either of the operations out of these four, what is your resultant going to be now? Your resultant, the result is always an irrational number. This is really an important result. And using the examples, I can show you very easily that how your resultant is going to be an irrational number ultimately. When we are considering one rational number and the another one is an irrational. Let's consider an example. Consider a rational number 3. 3 is clearly a rational number, friends. Why? Because it's possible to write 3 as a 3 upon 1, which is P by Q form. Another number we have to consider an irrational. So let root 2 be an irrational number. I am talking about the first operation, addition now. Add 3 and root 2. It will look something like this, right? 3 plus root 2. Friends, we know very well this root 2. The value of root 2 is 1.4142. It is non-terminating and non-recurring, right? Using the definition of irrational, just recall the concept of rational and irrational using their decimal expansions. I told you this is non-terminating and non-recurring. So whenever I am adding this root 2 in the value 3, you will observe that your resultant 3 plus 1 becomes 4 and the values after decimal they remain as it is. It is still non-terminating and non-recurring. So means your resultant, this output is again an irrational number, right? On the same steps we can check for other operations also. I'm considering the same numbers, and second operation, if we have to subtract them, 3 minus root 2. Since root 2 is an irrational number, the result after subtracting will also be an irrational number. Okay, you can just try this out. Just like in the case of addition, I have solved it and I have shown you that how it is becoming an irrational. On the same steps you can check. Just the operation is changed over here. Instead of taking plus, I have taken the subtraction operation over here. Likewise, when we are checking for another operation, suppose I have to multiply them together. You have to multiply 3 and root 2. It is becoming 3 into root 2. Since your root 2 is an irrational, root 2 is an irrational. We know that very well, right? This is an irrational number. So if you are multiplying this value by 3, just think about it. Ultimately your output will also be an irrational number. Hence proved that result, that note which I have given you in the beginning of this lecture. Likewise, we can check for the last operation, which is division. My fourth operation is now to divide them together. I am doing 3 upon root 2. People, your rational number clearly should be non-zero here. I have considered a non-zero rational number. Why? We know 0 by something becomes 0, and 0, if you remember the first exercise, 0 is clearly a rational number, right? So that is why you have to consider a non-zero rational number. Only then your result is valid here. Alright? Since I have taken 3, which is clearly a non-zero rational number, I am writing for abundant clarity, it's a non-zero rational number. Okay? So 3 upon, and we know the approx value of root 2 is 1.4142. It goes on and on and on. So your output, whatever the output is going to be, it will be again an irrational number. Your output will be an irrational number. Hence proved. Note 2 is, however, when we consider both irrational numbers together and then we add, subtract or maybe any other operation, then the resultant can either be a rational or an irrational number. Now what is the change over here, friends? Initially we considered in note 1, I told you to consider a rational and another one an irrational number. But now when we are considering both irrationals and then we are operating them together, then your resultant can either be a rational or an irrational number. I'll show you both the examples. Suppose first of all I have taken add root 2 and minus root 2. There's a change of only negative sign over here. With the negative sign, it still remains the irrational number, right? So you have to operate, and which operation is provided? We need to add them up. So when I am adding root 2 and minus root 2, we know in addition plus minus becomes minus. So it is coming out to be something like this. And whenever we have same values, magnitude is same with the opposite signs, we can cut them together. So your output here is 0, and we know very well that 0 can be written like this or maybe any other non-zero value in the denominator, means 0 is a rational number. So clearly when you have added these two irrationals, since root 2 and minus of root 2 both are irrationals, but my resultant, my output here is a rational number. The next example, I am considering both irrationals, but in that case my answer will be an irrational. Friends, now I have considered these two irrational numbers. I have taken root 2 and root 3. Let's try them. We know the approx value of root 2 is 1.4142 up to so on, and my root 3 is 1.73 and so on. Let's add them together. Root 2 plus root 3 becomes 1.4142 plus 1.73 and so on. We are going to add them up now. What we are going to have 3.14. Still these two numbers are non-terminating. Their expansions are clearly non-terminating and non-recurring. So your output is again a non-terminating value which is never going to end, and non-recurring. So clearly here your output is becoming an irrational number. So what is the difference over here? Since I have considered two distinct irrational numbers, that is why my output is becoming an irrational number over here. Irrational number. Alright. And in the previous example which I took root 2 and minus of root 2. Since both the values were same, just the sign was changed. That is why after adding them up, I was getting 0, and 0 was a rational number clearly. So whenever we are considering distinct irrationals, output is becoming an irrational. But when you are considering irrational numbers just with the sign changed, then your output may be a rational number. I hope this property, this note 2 is clear to everyone now. So what is the conclusion now? I have written two conclusions over here. Sum of a rational and irrational number is always an irrational. जब भी आपके पास एक नंबर रैशनल और दूसरा irrational है, your output is always an irrational. And what is the second conclusion? जब भी आपके पास दो irrational numbers आप consider कर रहे हैं, it depends upon the situation, it depends upon your statement given. या तो आपका आंसर रैशनल होगा या वो irrational भी हो सकता है. So these are the two conclusions. Let's begin with the exercise and questions now. So the very first question is to classify the following as rational or irrational. After simplifying, you need to check whether your resultant is becoming a rational or an irrational number. Very first given part is 2 minus root 5. We know very well friends that root 5 is an irrational number, right? I told you, and 2 is my rational. अभी आपको conclusion 1 बताया था, whenever you have a rational and irrational and you are maybe adding them or subtracting them up, your output is always an irrational. तो यहाँ पर आप एक rational number को treat कर रहे हैं irrational के साथ, so means your output is becoming an irrational number without any doubt. Alright, let's check the next sum now. BODMAS always says that treat the bracket first. I'm opening out this bracket. Since there is no negative sign outside, so we need not to change the signs. Values will remain as it is. What is happening here? Just observe your second and third term here. Both the values are same and with the opposite signs. So we can cut them up and you are left with 3. And 3 clearly is a rational number because I have written in P upon Q form and this Q is non-zero. So this second part is your rational number after simplifying these terms and simplifying the operations. Let's check the third part now. We have division operation over here and these root 7 and root 7, both the values are same, so we are allowed to cut them up. After cancelling the values, I am going to have 2 by 7, which is clearly a P by Q form where P and Q are integers and denominator Q is non-zero. So that is why using the definition of rational, the output here is a rational number. Alright, let's check the next one. 1 by root 2. Root 2 is an irrational number, right? And this numerator, we have a rational number, one is a non-zero rational number. I told you when a rational number is treated with an irrational, your output is always an irrational. इसको आप थोड़ा अपने ideas apply करें, आपको और clear हो जाएगा. Even if you are writing the value of root 2, approx value of root 2 is 1.4142 and up to so on. आप इसको divide करोगे, even then your output will be a non-terminating and non-recurring value, which is clearly the feature of an irrational number, non-recurring. So means this implies that your output will be an irrational number. Very easy, right? Question 2 is to simplify the expressions given. Alright, 2 brackets are given here in the product and we know very well how to multiply 2 brackets. So I am considering first term and multiplying with the second bracket. 3 2s are 6. It becomes 3 root 2. Now I am considering the second value. It's becoming 2 under root 3. And root 3 into root 2. We can combine them in the product. 3 2s are 6 under the root. Alright. And friends, you need to understand that these are not the like terms. Like terms वो होती हैं जिनका factor same हो, जिनके पास same square root की value हो. तो आप 3 root 2 और 2 root 3 को add नहीं कर सकते हो आपस में. So means you need to leave this expression as it is here. We cannot simplify it further. Alright? Let's check the second part. And now you need to apply your thoughts and ideas. If you recall your algebraic expressions which you have done in lower grades, whenever you have same terms and multiply and just the sign in between is changed, just recall this result, a plus p into a minus p. This property tells that we have this expression equals to a square minus b square. So what is a over here? Your 3 is a and what is b? It's under root 3. So we have left hand side provided to us, a plus b into a minus b, which is going to be equals to your right hand side. So if I am just writing 3 square and in place of b I am putting minus, I have written minus, and in place of b I am going to put under root 3 whole square. 3 square becomes 9 and square cuts with the square root, it becomes 3, 6. This is a simplification. What is given in the next part? Now you have a plus b whole square type. Again you need to recall your identities. We know very well a plus b whole square equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So what is a over here? Your root 5 is a, and what is b? Your root 2 is the b. So we are given with this side clearly, and this is equals to your right hand side. So let's put in the values in this side. So in place of a square I am writing root 5 whole square plus 2, this is my a, and my b here is root 2, and plus b ka whole square. So let's simplify. We know square root cuts with the square, it becomes 5. We can combine them whenever there is a product. We can just put them together in a single square root. 2 5s are 10, and again these are cut. These are the constant values which can be added together. So 5 plus 4 becomes 9. Very easy to solve. Friends, the next topic is very much interesting. It is called rationalization. So what is the meaning of rationalization? The meaning of rationalization is to make your denominator a rational number, basically. To make denominator a rational number. If initially it is not a rational number, there is a square root suppose given in the expression. So by doing this process, by doing rationalization, we'll try to make the denominator a rational number. So let's consider an example. I have 1 upon 1 plus root 2. We know clearly root 2 is an irrational. So I want to make my denominator free of square root. I want to make it basically a rational number. So what is the process now? Let's understand this. You need to pick up the same expression and you need to observe its sign. Suppose we have plus over here. You will take the opposite sign. Whenever there is plus, you will take minus, and vice versa. Okay, so now if I have addition sign over here, it's plus. So I will take the opposite sign. Basically we are multiplying and dividing this given expression with the same value. मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया है, if you are multiplying and dividing any value with the same factor, the original value remains as it is. Alright, so what is happening? 1 into this remains same value. Here you can apply that same property, a plus b into a minus b, which becomes a square minus b square. After simplifying, I am going to have this cuts with the square root. And what do we have? Let's make it a new step. So this is my expression, and clearly you can see my denominator is free from square root, free from any irrational. This has become a rational number. Now I have a rational number in the denominator. Check your question 5, the very first part. Again, you have to rationalize the expressions given in this statement, right? Since there is only single term present in the denominator, so what you have to do here, you need to multiply and divide by the same value. क्योंकि यहाँ पर साइन जैसा कुछ नहीं है कि आपको ऑपोजिट साइन कंसीडर करना है. जो भी एक सिंगल टर्म गिवन है एज इट इज हम उससे मल्टीप्लाई एंड डिवाइड करेंगे. 1 into root 7 becomes root 7, and clearly we know whenever we have root a into root a, that becomes root a square, which means this will be written as simply a. So it will become 7 clearly. So clearly your denominator has become a rational number now. What is given in the next part now? I have 1 upon root 7 minus root 6. Now we have negative sign here, right? So what I have to do while multiplying and dividing, I'll consider the opposite sign. जब भी आपके पास नेगेटिव है तो आप कौन सा साइन कंसीडर करेंगे? प्लस साइन, राइट? सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं further. 1 into this value remains same value, and here you will apply a plus b into a minus b, which becomes a square. यहाँ पर आपका a है root 7 और b है root 6. सिंप्लीफाई करके आपके पास आने वाला है, it goes with this, it becomes 7 and here we have 6. 7 minus 6 becomes 1. Clearly आपका डिनोमिनेटर हो चुका है a rational number. It is clearly free from irrational factor now. I hope you will like this lecture. Stay tuned. I'll meet you in the next part. Thank you.